Today I'm going to talk about how pressure, can work upon us, how challenge can become opportunity. So if you're dealing with a challenging situation, you can learn by my story. You can access the services that we offer. You can learn that, what I'm talking about is not just happy talk. It's how the toughest situations really can make us stronger. Check out on the other side. So when I talk about things like developing my philosophy of goodness is strength and the training, coaching, and mediation that I've developed, all of these, best spiritual code, best mediator, all these things in essence came out of the level of pressure and opposition that I faced, really due to circumstances beyond my control, okay? I was very much, as I say, in the ordinary realm. And this unbelievable situation occurred in my life. And I'd like to give you some sense of how you can turn challenge into opportunity, how great pressure can make you great, and all this kind of thing. Because, my situation involves, having, I just want to give you, I'm not going to go into great detail, but, of all these people, but I want to give you some sense of the level of opposition that I faced, and really who came out of the woodwork to come at me. Not something, because I kind of was just this kind of, happy-go-lucky, naive person, perhaps, in terms of approaching the world, and which began over 36 years ago or so. And, first, that, I think there was, as I've said, a lot of rage, jealousy for my brother and his wife. But then it really, I guess what I'm getting at, one of the unbelievable things is it snowballed from there. And it's kind of very intriguing to see how rage, jealousy, hatred can kind of take on a life of its own. And it's why I push back a lot on purpose, because I want people to develop their own voice, not be part of a crowd or even a mob. So it kind of snowballed. It started to turn my family dynamic against me, for those who've dealt with extreme narcissistic, dynamics, this kind of thing, where somebody could be kind of put on the outs, even called a black sheep of the family and this kind of thing. But then it really kind of accelerated when it got into, my ex-wife was very involved. May she rest in peace. She died years ago, peacefully in Oklahoma. But, entered a divorce and separation thing. And so many people, there was an attorney in Scranton, this Richard Bishop, who had done some mishandling, so to speak, of my grandfather's will. So he had reasons to try to ice me out. And I had my ex-wife's family, Pat, she was in Florida, pray for the people of Florida now, but she was married to a high medical official, and, there was an attorney in that side of the family, from Oklahoma. But and then there were attorneys, who jumped in on my parents, on people's behalf, and my own parents turned against me. So I'm not, and then dealing with a court that was very uneven, very, in terms of divorce, men, separation. So what I'm saying is all these folks were on the other side, okay? Like all of them and more. I mean, if I had like I sometimes sort of say, well, it's 40,000 pounds of pressure. I don't know, like it could be 100,000 pounds of pressure. It was an unfathomable amount of pressure against me. And so what and I'm not like saying, oh, it's me against them. It was me pushing for fairness, for values, me pushing for fairness, for integrity, for what's right. And I know people could say, well, why would all these people be against you? But it's just kind of this, and I just think people are doing it without thinking, perhaps. It's this hateful dynamic of today. But I just had this enormous opposition, and that went on for decades and 30 years, give and take. So what I'm getting at is that when you're dealing with that pressure, this notion of diamonds, coal to diamonds, that, that if you believe in fairness, if you believe you should get what you want, which is what I encourage everyone, most people to really accept that mantle. If you believe in that for yourself, and the opposition is so great, you've got to keep working and zigzagging and pushing that way, to continue your determination, to continue your advocacy for what you want. And that's why I really, provide training, coaching, and mediation for people, because I want I want everyone to be working for fairness. I'm not saying vengeance in any way, but everyone should, have the prerogative to work for their own assertiveness, their own fairness, their own equality. And in this day and age, it gets very permutated in terms of different people throwing, criticisms on other people and denigrating other, and saying, when all most people really want to do is work for their fairness. So what I'm saying is that because I had things at my root, and this is where I really emphasize the word purpose, because I had a purpose, okay, and it was a justifiable one, for my children, for my family situation, for what I wanted in the world, because my advocacy was legitimate, and I learned to be appropriate and calm and really, being being very, very respectful even in how I approach things. Because I learned that, this was part of the process of what you learn when taking on great adversity. Because I learned these things and I was right, I had purpose, I could withstand this unfathomable degree of opposition that was against me and continually working and pushing for what is right. So that's where, when I say it's not just happy talk, to go out and interact with people and bring forth a positive philosophy into the world, like goodness is strength, that's where goodness is strength came about, because I said, I can't tell you the number of battles that I had, tens and 20 and hundreds of little skirmishes, mainly people coming at me out of the way, and then I would have to develop my methodology. And that's why when you go to the website now, you see the tagline, let me see, the most proven philosophy on the planet. That I sincerely believe my philosophy has been tested and proven more than any other. So if you're interested in spiritual growth, if you're interested in turning challenge to opportunity, if you're dealing with some of the toughest issues on earth in terms of narcissism, extreme, awful divorce dynamics, being emotionally abused, or just really want to reach your dreams or find yourself in a situation of unfairness, please do go to the website. I'm proud of it. A lot's work in progress always, but it's come a long, long way, and I'm proud of that. And I'm just saying that the philosophy I've developed did not just come about because I woke up one day and said, I want to be happy. It came about, it was the opposite. I use a word, my son, the opposite, that I had to continually push through this unfathomable opposition and challenge, and that's where I treasure this notion of turning challenge into opportunity, because that was my life. And what I'm saying is, when you have this guiding light, when you have the sense of perseverance, when you have purpose, you do not stop, especially when if the opposition does not fade quickly, but that you're right on some level. And everybody has that truth. Most people have somewhere where they're right. And this is where our work really helps people through our training, coaching, and mediation. So again, go to the website. But I want you to know that this is the whole notion of my life and work didn't come because I just jumped up and started to say it. It came because, even a Air Force colonel said to me years ago, and this is before it even exacerbated further, that when I said I'm dealing with a mountain of opposition, he said, you're a mountain of lemons. He said, you're dealing with lemons from here to the moon. And now to take Elon Musk's notion, I've dealt with lemons from here to Mars. unfathomable opposition. And that's why I want to say that the human spirit can overcome. That when you're right and learn appropriate ways with your purpose, you can overcome. So please do, if you find this message inspiring, if you want to find ways where you can, overcome and move to the next level and turn challenge into opportunity, then like and subscribe and get involved with this. Go to the website, get involved more. Thank you.